try to eliminate the length of speech, and I believe you just violated that. But, I was asked if I had words to say some words, and I naturally said yes. And so my wife that cannot be here today because of our 3-month-old child. Once I told her that, she said to me, you told him no, right? I was kind of bewildered, and I said no. Why would I do that? She said, well, you're going to talk nice about your brother that's tried to kill you on numerous occasions? I kind of understood what she was saying, but I asked her to elaborate. She said, all those trips y'all used to go on. I thought to myself again, maybe she's got a point. Those were a long time ago. But just to elaborate real quick on that, in 1997, Ed came up with the idea that we were going to travel across country in a car for 2 weeks. So it sounded great. He said, oh, we're going to go see this great park out there. It's called Yellowstone Park. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's like Yogi Bear's one. He's like, yeah. So we drive all the way out there, and turns out it's Yellowstone, not Jellystone. And we get up to Wyoming, and he had brought this device with him that I had seen with some kids that I grew up with, and it's called a tent. And we're in Wyoming, outside of Jackson Hole, and Ed brings this tent out, and he says, yeah, we're sleeping here tonight. So I looked at him, and I was wondering what this was all about. So Ed builds this tent, and it looks nice and everything, but there's no mattresses, there's no sheets, and it's like 30 freaking degrees. So that's when I realized I was in trouble. So, I consider myself fairly intelligent. I was out there 20 minutes and decided I was going to sleep in the Chevy Cavalier. So throughout the whole night, I went 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, turning the car on to get the heat, and said to myself, wow, yeah, I survived that one. Not a problem. You can't have anything else up his sleeve. So we get into Montana. Montana has no speed limits, and we're in a Cavalier. We're going about 85, and a deer appears in the road. Ed swerves to try to hit the deer, which would have hit us on the passenger side, which probably would have put an end to my existence. So, once again, I said, no, you're not going to get me. I laughed really loud, and I could tell at that time Ed was really, really mad about me laughing. That this was not a joking matter. He really had this planned. So we ended the trip, and 2000 comes along. Ed comes to me and says, let's go backpack across Europe. I should have known better, but he said, well, I'm going to pay for the whole thing. I'm like, all right, we didn't travel much. Don't know much about Europe. Let's do that. Well, again, we get on the plane, and this is pre-2001. He failed to tell me you can drink as much as you want on a plane for free in international flights. So he keeps feeding me alcohol, and like the good soldier I am, I keep obliging. So we get out in Paris, and a fist fight almost ensues. So I'm starting to catch on to this. Who would pay for their brother to go with them to Europe? So I say, I'm going home. Well, unfortunately, not a lot of people in Paris speak English, and it's pretty expensive to get a flight after you just arrived. So anyway, against my better judgment, we continued the trip. We get down to Nice, France. It's gorgeous. We go out one night, have some beers, and I've always had a kidney issue. And we're coming back from a bar, and I'm like, Ed, I really need to use the restroom. And he's like, no, you can't. I'm like, well, we're right in front of this hotel. There's no reason I can't go to the bathroom. So I did. Again, outsmarting him. So we, finished the trip, and it went fairly well. No more attempts on my life. And we get to Paris, and he wants to see a lot of these sites, and he says, yeah, we're going to go see Notre Dame. I'm like, sweet, they have the stadium out here too? So there's apparently this big tower we climb up. Well, once again, he's very smart. I'm scared, really, of heights. So we go up this tower. I'm like, okay, well, there's going to be like a football stadium we see over there. No go. So we get back and fly back home, and like I survived it again. And then a couple years later, he says, let's go to Costa Rica. He didn't pay for that one all the way, but he didn't pay for it. But he had this whole scheme of brainwashing me about this politician, John Edwards, that is going to be the next Harry Truman. He's this great guy that is going to change. He's a regular man. So we go, 8 days there, and he's the next president, and I'll admit my George Bush guy is probably wrong about that, but I think I got him on the John Edwards. But seriously, to get to the point, he's always been there, and thank you. I actually use these references I got them. But whether it was high school, whether it was college, whether it was anything that's ever happened in my life, we have fought like hell. We disliked each other for long periods of time. Now, I'm not going to lie, but that's what families do. And the difference is you live your life, and friendships like November rain don't last forever. but family does. And I can sit here today and tell you all that throughout all the time we argued and didn't talk for maybe months and things, I always respected him and looked up to him more than pretty much anybody. Excuse me, I'm really just trying to use this, but anyway, so I am very, very excited that I was given this opportunity, and it's been a fantastic weekend. I wish everybody best the best. So I'm going to end. I was married, I guess, 3 years ago, and my wife and I had some very dear poems that we, expressed our emotions through. And one particular poem that we had, and I wrote it down. I'm sorry, not on that paper, but it was from a 20th century poet, and it goes like this. I will be there for you. These 5 words I say to you. When you breathe, I want to be there for you. I'll be there for you. Yeah. Probably haven't heard him, but that's a great John Bon Jovi. So if we all can raise our glasses and toast to the new addition to the Wyatt family, and to the love for my brother, and making it without getting killed this weekend so far. But don't worry, I'm still looking behind my back. All right, to Edward and Kate.